Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West. And what day is it, Sam?
It's Warlock Wednesday,
Warlock Wednesday.
best day of the week. Eldritch Blasting or Pact of the Blading, because you have to play Axe Blades, I guess, and it's fine. Thirsting Blade exists. Anyway, this is
We keep saying best day of the week, but lately these Warlock Wednesdays have, and today is going to be another one.
listen. We're getting through some of the we only got because we're doing them alphabetically, right? So we had like Mask of Many Faces. And it was like, yeah, it's pretty fine. We had Maddening Hex. It was like, yeah, some builds want it. We had Master Myriad of Forms. It was like, yeah, this comes too late. Then we did Minions of Chaos, and it's like, oh, this is just utter trash. And now we're into Minions of Chaos's cousin, Mire the Mind, which is
Mire the Mind.
as simple and bad as Minions of Chaos. So this is, I guess it's slightly worse just because Conjure Elemental is a summon spell. So this is a prerequisite 5th level because you need 3rd level slots.
Mm-hmm.
And it says you can cast slow once using a Warlock spell slot. You can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Now,
all right, it's got that famous text.
Sure does. Any invocation, if you're new here, any invocation, if it says you can cast it once using a Warlock spell slot and nothing else, it is bad. It also says you can only cast it once a long rest, which makes it worse. Invocations, foundationally, need to expand the resources you have at your disposal. Pact Magic already limits the quantity of spells you can cast with your spells known by a very small amount of slots. You have 3 slots, 2 to 3 slots in the mid-tiers to cast any of the spells you've learned through the spellcasting feature of Pact Magic, right? So 6, 7, 8 spells. You get 2 slots that all those are competing for. This adds an additional spell that is competing for that slot once per long rest and nothing else. And that is worse than learning a spell. It's a non-feature. It's a waste of invocation. You should never take it regardless of what the spell is. It doesn't matter what the spell is. It is not worth to spend an invocation to get to the privilege of learning it. You can multi-class if you want to learn more spells, and you'll get more spell slots that way. So don't take these. Talk about slow, though, and why slow uniquely is bad.
I like slow. I just don't like it, once per long rest and taking out my Warlock slots.
And your concentration.
And it's gated. Oh no, it has to be gated at level 5. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, and there's no upcast benefits at all.
Yeah.
None. If you're a 9th level character, you have to cast benefit level spell slot on this because how Pact Magic works. And guess what? It doesn't upscale at all. You always get the 3rd level effect. It doesn't hit more creatures. Doesn't apply battle penalty. It has no upcast whatsoever. It's just worse because you're spending a more expensive slot on a 3rd level spell, which means the best time you can take this is a 5th level, and it's competing with bangers such as Agonizing Blast, Misty Visions, Thirsting Blade. All of those are really, really, really good. I would take one with Shadows over this. I can just search 5th level prerequisite and we can just go through all of them. And I'll say Eldritch Smite's better than this. Certainly is not a fan of Eldritch Smite, but it's definitely better than this. I would take Far Scribe before I take this. This is how bad this is. I would take Gift of the Depths, which is functionally gills, over this.
Yeah, I agree. The gills is something.
Gills is something.
If I want slow, like you said before, I'll multi-class or I'll play a different class. I think, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't really like slow, do you?
I don't. I think slow is kind of over. I think slow is kind of bad. I have read it recently. There's like 6 creatures is a lot. It's a 40-foot cube though, so it hits most of them. The whiz save or do nothing is kind of bad, and it's worse than haste because sometimes they don't need to forgo an action on their turn, right? -2 AC isn't the worst thing ever, but like it's not necessarily worth a 3rd level slot in your concentration. And then like if they ever have to do one or the other of moving or taking an action and that matters, it's good, but that isn't always the case. So it's like finicky and situational, and sometimes you hit the creatures you need to hit and don't hit the ones you need to with the save, and it's kind of like, I don't love it. I think it's inconsistent, and like comparing it to its brother Haste is so much better because it's consistent. It gives things extra attacks, which is really good. This is just like sometimes things are marginally worse, and I don't love that level of inconsistency. I also especially don't love it when it costs me one of my 2 Warlock spell slots.
All right, we've covered that,
sure.
but
fair. Beat that dead horse.
I do like slow because you can target 6 creatures, and it's one of those save or dies that still you'll probably get some effect out of.
True. It also, the text of if a creature attempts to cast a spell with casting one action, roll a d20, I think, and that's like, it sometimes delays it. That is really interesting text as far as like making slow more targeted and work better against spellcasters. Because like normally against spellcasters, because the things, the action or bonus action or move, not any of them, you have to like pick. Sorry, action or bonus action, not both. Like you have to pick is most effective against melee combatants that would be taking bonus actions in melee range or like dashing or whatever. In this case, and like the speed having is greater better against melee targets. This is a specific extra line of text that says it's also usable against casters. So it does hit a wider array of things. I think I was a little bit too down on it than I should have been. I still don't love it, but it's like, okay, there is some meaningful text here if you get it from another feature.
Right. I would like it as a warlock, but not at this cost.
I would not like it as a warlock because of how pack magic functions. I think it thematically fits the warlock identity. I think if you ever have 4th level spell, would like on any other class, would you be happy spending a 4th level spell slot on slow?
Possibly. Depends. If I really need the effects that slow is offering me, then sure.
I just don't. I think there's going to be regularly more things you want to do that are more powerful than this with your 4th level and higher slots. I think when a spell is costed at 3rd level, and I think it's kind of mediocre as a 3rd level spell, and then you have to spend higher level slots to get it up to 5th, and you only get 2 of those, you definitely have better things to be doing with that slot, especially on Warlock. It goes far to say on limited classes too. I don't think you should ever spend high level spells on slow unless, again, you're in the situation you're prefacing, which is you absolutely specifically need exactly slow in this instance for some reason. Maybe there's like 12 casters, you need them all to cast slower. So you slow all the casters and you hope that they fail to save.
All right. I don't know. We've pretty much made our case. Talk about slow some more, or
Mire of the Mind is really bad. We've talked about these before. At least with Conjure Elemental, I could say like it was one of the few ways Warlocks had access to summoning magic as a 5th level spell slot. That was kind of novel. This doesn't even have that upside. Warlocks are not shy on ways to slow things down. They have options for area control. They have options for debuffing. They have things to do that aren't slow that will impact enemies negatively. You don't ever want this on your character sheet.
no. The end.
The end. 1 out of 5. Hot trash. Don't ever take this. If you see someone take this, be like, wait, hold on. What if you didn't?
You should subscribe to the Caverns and Creatures YouTube channel.
It's very informative. This other thing we could say is just like briefly, if you want to have slow as a warlock, but through this feature, I think it would be relevant and interesting. And I would probably give this a decent score if it was just a 3rd level slot for casting slow. Like just, you can cast slow once, and then you can do that once per long rest. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's still not great. 1 extra slot per long rest for an invocation is kind of a tall order, but you're getting something. You're getting an extra cast of a spell you might want to use. If you want to build towards slow, that could be interesting. That is not what this text is, though. If you want that text, talk to your DM about it, talk to your group about it, see like, hey, I want to play with this thing. This currently as written is utter trash. What if we tweak it just a little bit so I could use it on my character sheet the way that it seems like it was intended to be used, and we could not watch me take a dead feature for no reason.
Yep. It's up to your DM, but as rules is written.
Yeah, rules is written does not do that.
Yeah.
You definitely can get told no, and that's okay.
All right. Well, we don't have to beat this dead horse anymore. This sucks. Mire of the Mind sucks. Don't take it. That's that. Unless you have a different opinion, commenters, let us know what you think. Yeah. Be curious to see.
Even just like, if you want to tell me that I'm wrong about slow, that it's actually like one of the best 3rd level spells in the game, hit me with it. I don't agree. It's trash. So let's talk.
Oh, I don't agree with that. However, I'm more interested in people that would argue for Mire of the Mind in particular.
See, but I want people to actually comment. I don't think any of those people exist, Bob.
We've been surprised before.
That's true.
But yeah, all right. Let us know what you think. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it. A gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.